slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
What's up, guys? Let me give you a look at the newest addition to the build. It's the 10-gallon OPENROAD 4x4 shower tank up on top. This thing is awesome. I'm going to show you how to get it installed and also show you why we made the switch to this brand. This thing has a couple features that I didn't have on my last tank. So let me show you what's in the box. Install is super easy, and then we'll take a look at how it works. Now here's everything that's going to come in the kit. Obviously your tank itself, which I'm going to go over the features on this tank and show you why we decided to go with this brand. You of course get your shower head, your shower hose. They do send obviously the hardware, a wrench that's a 13 on one side and a 10 on the other. They send a couple extra gaskets for each end of your hose. A quick connect adapter, which I'll show you what that's for, your user manual, and then your mounting brackets. This thing is very easy to install, so let me show you how to get that done real quick, and then as I mentioned, we'll go over all the features that this tank offers. Let's do the features first before we throw it up on the truck. So very nice matte black finish with the OPENROAD logo down there, and right here, this is why we decided to go with this brand. Couple reasons. Quick connect adapter with the open and close valve ahead of that adapter, which is a nice feature. Water level indicator. I didn't have this on my last tank, and I found myself constantly just kind of guesstimating how much water I had left, how much water was in there, you know, how much air pressure I needed to add. It was just a guessing game as far as how much water was in the tank. So I'm going to absolutely love having this gauge here to know how much water I have left at all times. You have your Schrader valve here. This is where you're going to pressurize it. You just hook it up to any kind of compressor and get your PSI. I believe, I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong, but off the top of my head, I want to say it's a max of 30 PSI for this tank. You have your air pressure release valve, so if the pressure in the tank gets too high, this will automatically open and relieve some pressure. That'll come in handy on hot days, you know, when the pressure can build up. And then of course, this is your fill cap. Again, finished in a nice matte black finish, and that of course is where you're going to fill your tank up. First thing is selecting a mounting location. Of course, we're going to be putting it on top of our roof rack where we had our last water tank, because our shower room, our Ironman 4x4 shower suite is right here, so I'm going to want my water tank right here for showering. We're going to be mounting to the Sherpa Grizzly roof rack using the crossbars and some drop-in T-nuts. So pretty self-explanatory here. We're going to take our drop-in T-nuts, put them down in our grooves of the rack, and I got these right off Sherpa's website, but you could actually get them cheaper off Amazon. And then we're simply just going to take our mounting bracket. You can see how there's slots. Take our hardware. Now this hardware this did not come with the package. I'm using different hardware for this step just because of the way we're attaching it. You can see I just have a bolt, washer, and then a bigger washer, just because again it's a 10-gallon tank. There's going to be some weight to it, and I just want to make sure this thing is nice and secure. So we're just going to go ahead and screw down into our T-nuts and just get it started. I'm not going to tighten it just yet. I also am going to use just a small amount of blue Loctite, since it is going to be, you know, the water sloshing around and all that stuff. We'll just put a little dab on each bolt, just to give us that little extra assurance that these bolts won't back out. Now, of course, I do check all my bolts on my bed rack every so often. Really, on anything like this, you should be checking every so often just to make sure nothing's coming loose, especially if you off-road a lot and have a lot of weight on the racks and things like that. So, all right, so we got them started, but you can see the bracket's still movable at this point until we get the other one up here and get the tank positioned. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same thing up here on the front crossbar. Back to the tank, you can see we have it flipped upside down, and on the underside you have these two tracks. So this is where you're going to use the supplied hardware, and you're going to take, we're going to need two in each track. So two up here for the front bracket, or actually the rear bracket, and then two back here for the the rear bracket. And you just take them down to this end, slide them right in the track like that. That's what you should have. 2 there, 2 there. Obviously they slide very easily, so we can line them up and get them in the mounting bracket up on top of the rack. All right, next step is pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna take the tank and get those bolts on the underside of the tank and get them through our bracket there. The tank is pretty lightweight when it's empty, so it's pretty easy to maneuver. So we have those 2 lined up. Let me just get the front lined up. Now we can kind of get it positioned as far as where we want it, front to back and side to side. I am gonna bring it closer to the edge over here, closer to my shower. Once you have it where you want it, I went ahead and tightened the bottom hardware first to keep the mounting brackets in place. And then again, once you get the tank centered and positioned where you want it, now you're just gonna take the supplied hardware, take a washer and a lock nut, it's a 13, and go ahead and secure the tank to the brackets up under using those bolts in those grooves. All we have left to do is connect the shower head to the hose. And in order to do that, the end that looks like this with the longer piece, according to the pictures and the instructions anyway, attaches to your quick connect adapter. So you're just gonna screw it on there. I am gonna use a little bit of plumbing tape. It doesn't say to, but I don't think it can hurt. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit on there. Take the other end, connect it to your shower head. You will have to remove these blue, they ship it with these blue caps just to protect the threads. And I'm just hand tightening both ends since you are dealing with, you know, some plastic here. I'm not going to grab a wrench and, you know, really hammer it down. So let's go ahead and add water. We'll connect it, pressurize it, test it out. All right, so as you can see, we are connected. Let's go ahead. We did air it up to 30 PSI as you saw. So let's go ahead on the shower head. You can see there is a button right here. If you push it from the front, it actually says stop right on it. That's why nothing's flowing. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. I think it has 5 or 6 different spray patterns. So that's actually the one I would probably use for showering, things like that. Now, I will say, before I go any further, I do have to reach out to them. There's typically a little knob right here. Mine was broke off when I took it out of the box. Like, that's how you can still spin the head. But there's usually a little knob right there to spin the head and change patterns. I'm just going to reach out to them. I'm sure they'll send me another shower head. No big deal. So, but for me to change the patterns, let's just start all the way to the right. So that's more of a, I guess that's actually not bad for showering either. Then next is more of kind of like a mist. Then that's probably the one I'll use to shower when I'm camping. That's a nice flow. And then there's more of like a jet pattern. Okay, so there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, there's 4 different patterns, spray patterns there. So as you can see, no leaks. Everything is nice and, you know, sealed up. Again, I did use that plumbing tape on my connections. It doesn't say you have to. I did, just to be, you know, an extra step just to make sure you don't have any leaks. So you saw how it literally just quick connect and quick disconnects to take your shower head off, on and off. So that's, you know, really convenient. And I love the fact that I have this gauge to know how much water I have left in my tank at all times. So it's pretty neat. There you have it, the 10-gallon water tank from OPENROAD 4-wheel drive. I will put a link down below. It's my affiliate link, so I appreciate you guys using it. If you choose to go with one of these, I don't think I mentioned it throughout the video, but they also offer this in a 5-gallon option. If you're not looking for something quite as big or quite as long, they do offer the 5 gallons. So check it out. I will link them down below for you. If you have any questions about the install, let me know. One of the other things real quick I just want to mention that I just realized, I had to run to the store real quick before I shot the ending of this video, and I happened to notice the panoramic sunroof. This doesn't cover anywhere near as much as my old tank, so that's just an added bonus. I have a little bit more view, actually a decent amount more view with this tank versus my old one. So again, not a huge deal, but a nice little bonus that This is more kind of streamlined, a little bit thinner from my older tank. So if you have any other questions on it, put them down below. I'll get you helped out the best I can. Again, link will be below. I appreciate you guys using them, and along with all of our other sponsors and discount codes will be down there for you as well. Questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I'll help you out the best I can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.